Hi, welcome to my class. I am Sunita. Last class we will study about human eye and their respective function. This class we will study about eye defects of vision and their correction. Defect of the eye. The eye is one of the most remarkable organ in the body. Already you know eye is one of the most important organ in our body. It may have several abnormalities. Abnormalities means it may have several problems, defect. How it will be corrected? It will be corrected using eyeglasses, contact lenses and even surgery also. One by one we will study in detail. Here the various defects from which an eye can suffer are. Here are the some of the few defects of the eye. First one, color blindness. Second one, myopia or short sightedness. Third one, hypermetropia or long sightedness. Fourth one, presbyopia. Fifth one, cataract. Sixth one, astigmatism. Here these are the few eye defect. This can be studied one by one in detail. Eye defect. First one is color blindness. A person having defective cone cells is not able to distinguish between the different colors. This defect is known as color blindness. What is meant by color blindness? A person is not able to distinguish between a proper color. He is not able to identify a proper color. For example, if the color is blue, that person maybe he will get confused between black or different colors. This defect we will known as a color blindness. Next we will see what is the cause of color blindness. Defective cone cells. If the person is having defective cone cells, definitely that person is suffering from color blindness. This one in detail we will study here. Okay, last class you studied retina. It contains cones and also rods, and one thing you have to remember, always the image it will form on the retina. Whatever the object you will see, that image it will form on the retina. Then your brain it will recognize the object properly. If the retina contains defective cone cells, then you are not able to receive a proper image on the retina. Image it will be formed on the retina, but your brain is not able to identify the color of the object because of the presence of this defective cone cells. They will get confused between the colors, whether it is a black or blue. I am giving only two examples. Maybe you can correlate between the some different colors. Because of the defective cone cells, that person he is not able to identify a proper color. Okay, once again I will explain what is meant by color blindness. Color blindness is nothing but the person is not able to identify a proper color. He will get confused between the colors. Why this defect it will arise? Because of the presence of defective cones. This defective cones they will be present in the retina. Because of this defective cones, that person he has to suffer from color blindness. Okay, second one is myopia or short sightedness. It is a kind of defect in the human eye due to which a person can see near object clearly, but he can't see the distant object clearly. Myopia means the person he is able to see a near object properly, but he is not able to see a proper object, far object properly. Consider this picture. This is the normal vision, otherwise vision of a normal person. That normal person he can see near object also, far object also clearly. But if the person suffering from myopia, he is able to see a near object properly, but he is not able to see a far object properly. Here you can see the far object it will be not clear or blurred. Even he can't recognize the object properly. This process, this one we will call it as a myopia. One thing you have to remember, what is mean by myopia? That person he is able to see a near object properly. He is not able to see a far object properly. Next we will see Where is the image? It will form in myopia eye. This is the vision of a normal eye. Already you learned whenever you will see an object, the image of the object it will form on the retina. Therefore, if the image is formed on the retina, you are able to see an object properly. But in the myopia case, the image it will form before the retina. It will not form on the retina. It will form before the retina. This is the position of the image. That's why in the myopia eye, that person he is not able to see a far object. When he will see a far object, the image it will form before the retina. Therefore, he is not able to recognize the far object properly. This is the reason. One thing you have to remember, in the myopia eye, the image it will form before the retina. This is the reason that person he is not able to see a far object properly. This question they may ask in the exam also. This point you have to remember. Here I am giving one more example. When you will see a fruit, normal vision, otherwise normal person, when he will see a fruit, the fruit image exactly it will form on the retina. Then that person clearly he can see the fruit. But in the case of myopia eye, the image it will form before the retina, not properly on the retina, before the retina. Therefore, that person he is not able to see the proper image of the fruit. Maybe the image of a fruit may be unclear or blurred. Maybe some cases he is not able to see the fruit also. This is the example, one of the example for myopia. Next we will see myopia reason. What is the reason of myopia? First one, excessive curvature of the cornea, elongation of the eyeball. Look at these two pictures. There is a huge comparison is there. This is the normal vision of a eye. This is the myopia eye. You can identify this curvature of the cornea. Here the blue line. Here also the blue line compared to this one is looking like a little elongated or little enlarged. Even you can compare the size of the eyeball. Here compared to this one, here this eyeball it is looking like a elongated or increased, or it will be elongated, it will be looking like a more. This is the reason the myopia it will happen. Two important point you have to remember here. The curvature of the cornea, it will increase, excessive curvature of the cornea. The next one, elongation of this eyeball. Both also it will be more. In this case, the myopia it will happen. Next we will see myopia correction. Since a concave lens has an ability to diverge incoming rays, it is used to correct this defect of vision. The image is allowed to format the retina by using a concave lens of suitable power as shown in the given figure. This is the myopia eye. The image it will form before the retina. That's why that person he is not able to see a far object. How we will correct this defect? We will use a concave lens. We will place a concave lens in front of the eye. This concave lens it will diverge the rays, whatever the rays they will fall on the concave lens, they will get diverged. After diverging, they will reach the eye lens. Then refraction it will happen here. After refraction, they will meet at a single point. They will meet on the retina. Therefore, the image it will be formed on the retina. Therefore, here we will use only the concave lens. Here we will discuss why in myopia eye we will use only the concave lens. What is the reason? Concave lenses are used in eyeglasses that correct nearsightedness or myopia. Placing a concave lens in front of a nearsighted eye reduce the refraction of light and lengthen the focal length so that the image is formed on the retina. These 2 points is very important. Why we will use only the concave lens? Because it will decrease the refraction of light and also it will increase the focal length. Okay, let us in detail we will discuss here. Here is the concave lens. Whatever the right rays they will fall on the concave lens, they will get diverged. After diverging, the refraction of light it will get reduced. The percentage of refraction it will get reduced because of using this concave lens. That is the first reason. Then second one, it will increase the focal length. Focal length also very very important point. When you are using the concave lens, the focal length it will get increase, because of this increase in focal length, the image it will form exactly on the retina. Because of this two reasons means, one is reducing refraction of light, next one is lengthening of the focal length. Because of these two reasons, the image of the object it will be formed exactly on the retina. That is the use of the concave lens. This is very very important point in the exam. They may ask why to correct myopia, why we will use only the concave lens. Then you have to give an answer. Concave lens it will reduce the refraction of light, and also it will lengthen the focal length. That two points you have to remember. Defect of eye, in this one, third one is hypermetropia or long sightedness. It is a kind of defect in the human eye due to which a person can see distinct object. Distinct object means far object properly, but can't see the near object clearly. Observe these two pictures. This is the vision of a normal human eye. Normal human, he can see the very near object also, he can see very far object also. Even this very near object, even this book he can read properly, even far object he can see tree, flowers, everything normally. This is the first case. But in the case of hypermyopia, hyper, hypermetropia, here this person he can see this book, but he is not able to recognize the letters on the book, but he can see properly the far object, tree, this flowers, everything he can see properly. This kind of vision we will call it as a hypermetropia. It is a kind of defect in the human eye due to which a person can see far object clearly, but he can't see the near object clearly. Hypermetropia means, you have to remember, he can see clearly the far object clearly, but he can't see the near object properly. Next we will see in hypermetropia, where is the image it will form. In myopia, the image it will form before the retina, but in hypermetropia, the image it will form beyond the retina. Otherwise, after the retina also you can tell, or beyond the retina. What is the reason why the image it will form beyond the retina? Because this it will happen because decrease in the power of the eye lens. The power of the eye lens it will decrease, and this it will cause increase in the focal length of the eyes. What is mean by focal length? The distance between the lens and where the image it will form. The distance between the lens and the image we will call it as a focal length. When focal length is increased, then the power of the lens it will be decreased. Then shortening of the eyeball. Shortening is nothing but size of the eyeball it will decrease. Because of these two reasons, the image it will be formed beyond the retina. Maybe in the exam, what is the reason in hypermetropia the image it will form beyond the retina? You have to give two reasons. One, decrease in the power of the eye lens. Because of decrease in the power of the eye lens, the focal length of the eye lens it will be increased, and size of the eyeball it will be decreased. That is the two reasons. Then this is the cause of hypermetropia. Hypermetropia correction. Here you can observe, in the case of hypermetropia, the image of an object it will form beyond the retina. How we will correct? It has to form on the retina. We will use convex lens. Which type of lens we will use here? We will use convex lens. Why we will use only convex lens? Convex lens is a converging lens. Whatever the light rays they will fall on the convex lens, they will get converged, they will meet at a single point on the retina, they will get meet. Then second one, use of convex lens, it will increase the power of the lens. That is the one. Then second one, it will decrease the focal length of the eyeball. The distance between the image and the eye lens it will decrease because of the using of the convex lens. That's why in the case of hypermetropia, to correct the image we will use the convex lens. Once again I will explain why we will use only the convex lens. It will increase the power of the eyeball and also it will decrease the focal length of the eyeballs. Here is the comparison between myopia and hypermyopia. In the case of myopia, the image it will form before the retina, but in the case of hypermyopia, the image it will form beyond the retina. That is one comparison. To correct myopia, we will use concave lens. Why we will use concave lens? Concave lens is a diverging lens. It will decrease the refraction of light and also it will increase the focal length of the eyeball. That's why we will use concave lens. But in the case of hypermetropia, we will use convex lens. Convex lens, it will increase the power of the lens and also focal length between the lens and the image also it will get decreased. Eye defect of vision and their correction. Fourth one is presbyopia. It is a kind of defect in human eye which occurs due to aging. Aging, old age person, normally he will get presbyopia. It happens due to the following reasons why it will happen. Decrease in the flexibility of the eye lens. The flexibility is nothing but enlarge or decreasing the size of the eyeball. Flexibility of the eyeball it will get decrease. Then gradual weakening of the ciliary muscles. Here you can see the ciliary muscles are there. That ciliary muscles they will get weakened. Because of these two reasons we will get this disease. A person may suffer from both myopia and hypermyopia. Presbyopia means it will include both myopia and hypermyopia. Both also, otherwise any one also depends upon the age. This is the normal vision. This is presbyopia. Here you can see here hypermetropia because the image it will form beyond the retina. How we will correct? We will correct using the convex lens. We will correct using this convex lens. Presbyopia, here you have to remember it is occurs for the aging person, otherwise aged person. You can observe here why this will happen. What is the reason? Decrease in the flexibility of the eye lens or gradual weakening of the ciliary muscles. Here is one of the example. Here normally you can see all the three letters of A. It will appear normal. The image is formed exactly on the retina. But here the three letters, the first letter that otherwise the front letter it will appear blur. Then remaining for two letters appear clear. This is the case of hypermetropia because the image it will form beyond the retina. This condition we will call it as a presbyopia. Here you can observe the clear object it will appear blur, the far object it will appear clear. This is the condition of hypermetropia. Already I explained presbyopia may be a condition of myopia and also both hypermetropia also. Both the condition you can see here in the case of presbyopic eye. Presbyopia correction by using a bifocal lens with appropriate power. Why we will use bifocal lens to correct presbyopia means already I told in this case we can observe both myopia and hypermetropia also. Therefore, we will use bifocal lens. Bifocal lens consists of both concave and convex lens. Upper position consists of a concave lens and lower position consists of a convex lens. Already you know. To correct myopia, we will use concave lens. To correct hypermetropia, we will use convex lens. Therefore, both the combination we will use to correct presbyopia. Here you can observe already we discussed this. This it will cause for aged person. They may face even myopia, then hypermetropia also. The image maybe it will form beyond the retina also, after the retina also. To correct we will use bifocal length. That is the reason maybe in the exam they may ask why we will use bifocal length to correct presbyopia. Then your answer In this case, we will see both myopia and hypermetropia also. To correct myopia and hypermetropia, we will use bifocal length. Here you can observe presbyopia, but here you can observe this is hypermetropia because the image it will form beyond the retina. To correct this one, we will use which type of lens we will use? We will use convex lens. Using of this convex lens, the image exactly it will form on the retina. Next one is cataract. Due to the membrane growth over the eye lens. See here the white membrane it will grow on the eye lens. The eye lens become hazy or even opaque. Hazy means that person he is not able to see any object, or if he see the object, maybe it will become fully blur. What is mean by opaque object? Opaque object means it will not allow any light rays to enter into it. Even this eye lens, it will not allow any light rays enter into it. This leads to a decrease or loss of vision. This may cause decrease or loss of vision. This problem is called as a cataract. The growth of a white membrane on the eyeball, we will call it as a cataract. This can be corrected only by surgery. We can't use any another method. Only one of the option means we have to remove this layer, then only this problem is corrected. Astigmatism, it is a type of refractive error in which the eye does not focus light evenly on the retina. Why this refractive error it will happen in astigmatism? Because there is a change in shape of the cornea and you can see abnormal curvature of the cornea. Because of this region, whatever the light they will fall on the cornea, they will not properly get refracted, they will not meet at a single point on the retina. You will not get a image properly on the retina. This we will call it as a refractive error. Because of this reason, you will get multiple focal point and also you will get a blur vision also. But in the case of a normal eye, if the cornea is having proper curvature and proper shape, whatever the light rays falls on the cornea, they will get refracted, they will meet at a single focal point. You will get a proper image on the retina, only one image you will get. But in the case of astigmatism, because of the irregular curvature of the cornea, the light rays they will not get properly refracted, they will not meet at a single point. Because of this reason, you will get multiple focal point. This error we will call it as a refractive error. This result in distorted or blurred vision at any distance, means you are not able to see a proper image. Other symptoms can include eye strain, headache and trouble driving at light. Normally the person having astigmatism, he will feel eye strain, headache and trouble driving at the night. Astigmatism can also be corrected by reshaping the cornea through LASIK, laser in situ keratomelastosis, or PRK, photorefractive keratectomy. Here these two cases, normally astigmatism is caused by irregular shape of the cornea, irregular curvature of the cornea. These two cases can be corrected by LASIK and PRK. PRK, it will remove the tissues from the superficial and inner layer of the cornea. PRK, what it will do? It will remove tissues from the superficial and inner layer of the cornea. And LASIK removes tissues only from the inner layer of the cornea. It will remove the dead tissues or harmful tissues from the cornea. Then this can be corrected using the surgery treatment. LASIK, which stands for laser in situ keratomelastosis, is a popular surgery that can correct vision in people who have nearsightedness or farsightedness or who have astigmatism. This can be used for nearsightedness also, farsightedness also, who have astigmatism also. This can be only one case is there. This astigmatism can be corrected by only surgery, which can correct the cornea, maybe irregular shape of the cornea or any dead cells of the cornea, any irregular abnormalities in the cornea can be corrected by only surgery. Thank you everyone for listening my class.